EV drivers are getting upset based on the reliability issues with the charging network. Are you one of them? Do you care? So it says here the reliability of EV charging networks is getting worse, with at least 1 in 5 charging attempts by drivers failing last year. Widespread problems are occurring as EV adoption grows at twice the rate of charger installation, and the industry and government plans to invest billions of dollars into charging infrastructure. Many charging stations are aging, lack routine maintenance, and face software hiccups. The number of failed charging attempts climbed steadily from 15% in the first quarter of 2021 to 20% in the first quarter of 2022, and rose to more than 21% by the third quarter. This, according to J.D. Power's Electric Vehicle Experience Public Charging Study. That's a mouthful. That was released this week. Satisfaction with level 2 chargers and level 3 chargers hit its lowest point in the third quarter since J.D. Power began its EV public charging study in 2021. A level 2 charger powers an EV in 5 to 6 hours. Level 2 chargers are often installed at homes, which I have one, work, or public shopping centers where vehicles are parked for a significant amount of time. Level 3 chargers require a much larger grid connection and take 15 to 20 minutes to refill most of an EV's charge. So the federal government, states, and industry stakeholders have committed billions of dollars to expand EV charging infrastructure across the U.S., but if chargers fail, that investment could be done in vain. Quote, "We can't add new chargers and let all those old ones fall into a state of disrepair. We have to manage the maintenance of those as well because that's the only way we're going to meet the consumer demand." This from the executive director of Global Automotive at J.D. Power. Charging companies and regulators are taking steps to improve reliability. Still, it's too soon to say whether their efforts will be enough. The National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Formula Program alone sets aside $5 billion through 2026 to help states achieve the president's goal of 500,000 EV charging stations across the U.S. by 2030. More on failure rates here. J.D. Power declined to make public which networks had the best and worst reliability records. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? Its studies included more than 26,000 charging attempts at level 2 and level 3 chargers in all 50 states. The reason for failed charging sessions ranged from software glitches to payment processing errors to vandalism. It says here nearly 3/4 of respondents who were unable to charge their vehicles last year said they couldn't charge because the charger was out of service. Some say the companies are failing to act quickly enough. It might be a pretty minor issue, one person said, but they need somebody to come out here and fix it. And they don't do that for 24 to 48 hours. Is this a concern? Should it be a concern? With all the money being invested, this has got to be fixed soon if we want to become more sustainable when it comes to driving our EVs. Love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. So the following 10 cars lose most of their resale value in the first 5 years. 5-year-old used cars sold last year had lost an average of just 33% of their value at that point. This data according to new analysis by iSeeCars.com. That is down from 40% in 2021, which seems good, but you're still losing 33% of the value of that vehicle after 5 years. 3-year-old used cars sold last year had depreciated by 17%, the smallest drop on record. Now, today's soaring gas prices mean fuel-efficient cars are especially likely to hold their value. However, some vehicles still lose their value far more quickly than others. The following vehicles have lost the most value after 5 years. Starting at number 10, we'll work up to number 1, which will be the worst. Ford Expedition, 50.7%. Volvo S90, 51.4%. Audi A6, 51.5%. Lincoln Navigator, Mercedes-Benz S-Class, both at 52%. Cadillac Escalade ESV, 52.3%. Infiniti QX80, 52.6%. 54% for a Jaguar XF. 56.3% for a Maserati Ghibli. And the vehicle that loses the most value after 5 years recently, BMW 7 Series, 56.9%. These are cars you don't want to buy or invest in if you plan on selling them after 5 years. Now, the cars that hold their value the best are the following. Jeep Wrangler, 7.3% depreciation over the first 5 years. That's pretty damn good. Jeep Wrangler Unlimited, 8.7% of depreciation over the first 5 years. And a Porsche 911. People love these and they keep buying them at high prices even though they're older, 14.6%. Now, other cars on this list that held their value well included the Tacoma, 14.9%, Honda Civic, 16.3%, Subaru BRZ at 18.2%. Any surprises on this list for you? Do you own any of these vehicles? If you do, leave them in the comments section below, and we'll keep that conversation and sharing going on there. Car prices could drop as much as 20% in 2023. JP Morgan says right now supply chain crises are easing, bringing more inventory to dealership lots while demand is stabilizing. They say used car prices could fall as much as 20% in 2023, and new car prices could drop by 5%. Of course, these are just forecasts being made by JP Morgan. Nothing is written in stone. Prices could fluctuate throughout the year. Shoppers will still need to hunt to find a good deal. That's why Quotes.EverymanDriver is always a great free resource. It's a search engine. Type in the make, model, and your zip code to find the best deals being offered in your area. Industry car buying experts have shared a few tips on what segments and brands may offer the best and earliest deals for 2023, and here they are. So brands like Tesla, Volkswagen, BMW are generally more expensive now than in the past, but according to Kelley Blue Book, some of their competitors have backed off, jacking up the prices. I'm going to leave that in there. Looking for something like General Motors or maybe Hyundai, Mazda, Buick, some of those still have slight price increases, according to Kelley Blue Book, but just not as dramatic and drastic as some of the other ones. Buick, for example, they say, are selling for roughly 2% below MSRP. TrueCar industry analysts have agreed, noting that domestic brands have had more success building up their inventory. Quote, there are possibly some opportunities on the domestic brand side where they have slightly more inventory than some of the import brands. The domestic brands have a 30 to 40 day supply, which is still very, very low compared to historic levels. Looks like they're saying stay away from SUVs in 2023. Not only does brand matter, but the type of vehicle the car buyer is looking for does as well. Quote, there are some deals out there. If you happen to want a vehicle that is maybe lower in demand, or if you're in a region that particular vehicle doesn't sell as well as others, there are some deals to be had. Second-hand pickup trucks, minivans, convertibles, and coupes were all trading at below the average for used cars just a couple of months ago. The biggest, fastest drop in prices and returning to normal pre-pandemic prices will probably be in those segments. More desirable SUVs will follow later on. So pickup trucks, though popular in general, don't have great fuel economy, obviously, so prices have softened amid the higher than normal gas prices. Coupes, convertibles are fun cars, quote unquote, that shoppers stay away from when they're worried about inflation and economic turmoil. Is that true for you? Small cars, which have been historically sought after and which may seem like an obvious road to a good deal, are now in high demand because of their relatively low purchase price and good gas mileage. This is according to experts. The pandemic may have turned the car market on its head, but the basic laws of supply and demand still hold true. Generally speaking, if you want to save money, they say don't look for the same thing everyone else is looking for. That's common sense. So here are the big takeaways. Buy domestic, stay away from SUVs in 2023. After years of high prices and low inventory, car buyers might finally see things go their way. That'd be a big plus. But shoppers still need to weigh their options if they want a good deal and consider certain brands or vehicle types if you're car shopping in 2023. That's the headlines for now. Always check quotes.everymandriver.com for the best deals in your zip code from qualified dealers. Only qualified dealers are allowed to go on this search engine. If you find what you're looking for in your zip code, expand your zip code and be willing to travel a few miles to save a few bucks. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.